Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today it's April 28th. It is 2:22 p.m. And we are here joined by friend of the podcast, Nick Murphy.
Hello.
Hello.
Our most frequent guest.
Is that true?
Absolutely.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We don't have a ton of reoccurring guests in general.
Well, sorry to the fans. I apologize. Keep popping up, sleeping in the office. That's what it takes. You got to stake it out outside until these guys get here.
Yeah. Well, we're happy you're here. I mean,
Thank you.
Roan's gone still.
Congratulations.
Dude's really
bro.
milking the whole twins thing.
Okay,
huh?
we can talk about that. We can talk about the twins. Is the secret out?
Oh, yeah. Secret's out. Secret's out.
Shout out to Roan, man.
But yeah, he's not back yet.
All
and
That's a
Can-
lot, though.
Can we just say really quickly, because I did start to see some commentary, people being like, "You're telling me Roan can't just go do 1.5 hours of work a week?" The answer is no. Okay? Let me tell you something. He just had children for the first time. He's got 2 of them. Okay? It is absolutely fine for a new father to take paternity leave.
Were people actually saying stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
crazy.
feel like you guys have those kind of fans, though. They're
Oh,
just
yeah,
gonna
for
poke
sure.
the bear. Even if
Yeah,
they're not
yeah,
being
that makes
serious.
sense. I guess
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that. But
You know-
there can't be too many people actually giving Roan a hard time. He had the twins like less than 2 weeks ago, I think.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, let's let Roan have this moment with his beautiful family. He does a lot, and it's perfectly fine.
It's also not just an hour and a half because if he comes in here, everyone's gonna want a slice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, well, not only that, you're going to show
Yeah.
up 45 minutes late, so he'll be sitting here twiddling his
45
thumb.
minutes. I think I was about 5 minutes late today.
This feels like an argument from another time. It's coming out now. And also, let's be fair to the fans. Roan could get his shit together again. He could, but he doesn't have to. That's the point. He
True.
shouldn't have to.
That's the whole point, is
He
that you
could
have
pull it
the
together.
choice. You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the choice.
And you can't plan for twins either. I mean,
No.
like after they tell you, obviously, but when you're first, you know,
Oh, yeah.
that's got to be a
It's not on
big
him.
bombshell
Yeah.
news that you're having 2 now.
Yeah.
It's double the effort.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Probably pretty easy, though, if you've already prepped.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you've already got, like, the crib, and you just go on Amazon, just buy again, order again.
Yeah,
Just buy everything
just
twice.
double up.
Yeah.
Are they the same gender?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 bros.
2 boys.
2 boys.
Were they identical? They are,
No,
right?
no, they're
Oh,
not.
they're fraternal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Because apparently they can tell if they're identical before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can tell all kinds of shit.
Like, they can tell if you have, like, Down syndrome before.
Yeah. Is that the fraternal part one of them has and one of them...
One of them is up and one of them's down.
I don't know. I just know that, like, before you have
One's
kids,
like right side up
they
in the
can
womb
tell.
and the other one's
Yeah.
upside down. That's going to be a problem right there.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, that's the down. That's the down.
Can I pay you a compliment real quick, Francis?
Oh my gosh.
I don't mean for a glaze fest here, but I've been waiting like months to say this to you. You posted it back in January, but my favorite video of yours, you got a lot of great vids, but it's the ski lift where you're
Oh.
offering a pole and then pulling it. And
Thank you.
it's the way you say "yeah, right." It is unironically my favorite video, to the point where I clip to the back end out. I send it to my friends all the time as a reaction to what they're asking me. So they'll go like, "Hey, are we still good for lunch?" And I'll just send them, "Yeah, right. Yeah, right." It's so good.
That's
Oh,
great.
man.
Your delivery is perfect.
That's kind.
yeah,
I appreciate that.
of course.
That's really nice. You've memed me. You've made a meme
Yes,
of
but
me.
it's in the most positive way.
Oh,
I
I'm-
don't want you to.
I'm
take
honored.
offense.
No, I would never.
Yeah.
Nick and I had a wonderful bonding weekend together in Washington,
I heard.
D.C.
Thank
I
you for
heard.
the
We
spots
bonded
again,
the
yeah.
weekend after that, I believe.
Thank you for
Yeah.
the spots as well.
He came with you where?
Atlanta.
Oh,
I
got it.
came to him.
But this one, I just happened to be in D.C.
He was in D.C. He
and you
came
very
and did
kindly offered some spots. Yeah,
Comedy Bar. Is that what it's called?
No,
it was the
Loft.
comedy,
Comedy Loft.
Yeah.
Are you going to do
How do
that?
you not remember the club that you performed at like 3 weeks ago?
You know what?
We'll edit and redo it.
That
do
wasn't
some
3
ADR.
weeks ago. That was January.
Yeah, true. It was a while
But
ago.
Yeah.
more importantly,
Everything's 3 weeks ago until we hit 6 months into the year, and
Yeah.
then it starts going. You remember earlier in the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when Roan had twins 10 years ago? That was 6 weeks ago. That was crazy.
There's kids in high school yet?
He still hasn't been back. They're in high school. He hasn't come back to the
Yeah.
office yet.
No, but what I was going to say is that comedy clubs that are comedy something.
Yeah.
I have a very hard time remembering. Comedy Studio, Comedy Connection, Comedy Bar.
There is a Comedy Loft.
They're all named.
I know
similar,
all
right?
of those places.
Comedy Zone.
Yeah, right in Charlotte, right?
I believe so.
Where people
yeah.
keep telling us we need
They
to
say
go.
it's great.
It's
yeah.
really good. Yeah.
You've done it?
I
haven't done it, but I've been to a show. There.
I
It's a really nice
conflate
club.
all those clubs for some reason. I get because there are a few comedy connections. There are a few comedy lofts.
Yeah.
We have a
Dens.
punchline that's not affiliated with the
yeah.
other punchlines in Atlanta.
It's
There
so
you go.
It's
funny.
not part of the chain.
I tell everybody that.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite things is that you go there and you're like, yeah, I'm doing the punchline in
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Oh, like
Mhm.
it's just a
No,
punchline.
it's just called
It's just
punchline.
called that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good club though. Fun club.
We need to get a comedy mothership.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Atlanta. That's
Yeah.
not affiliated.
Yeah. I'm gonna open up a mothership in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That'd
there's
be
gonna be
good.
a space between mother and ship.
Nice.
And it's just gonna be called Mothership. Not lose the
Yeah.
like social network.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake told me that it's too much, too wordy.
Drop the.
And
But
then,
yeah, well, I was.
and then Harry said something that I'll never forget. Doesn't Eduardo say that right before?
okay,
the memory?
in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just as a button to the thing, I did some spots at Zany's in Nashville, and I was staying with a buddy of mine who's a super fan of both of you and Rowan.
Oh wow.
Shout out to Griffin, good buddy of mine.
Shout out Griffin.
And we were talking about. I was like, "Yeah, I'm texting him, seeing if we can do the podcast again." And he was like, "You have Harry's phone number and Francis?" And I was like, "Yeah, you want to see?" And as soon as he looks, I pull the phone and go, "Yeah, right, bro. Yeah, right."
Oh, that's great.
That's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
appreciate that.
It's
I
great
love
fun.
it. I love
Well,
it.
so Nick and we did the shows.
Oh yeah.
And
DC.
they were great shows.
They were really good.
We had a good time. And then I think it was after the last show on Saturday, because the shows had gone so well, I did something out of character, which I haven't done in years, and decided we should go out.
We did a little.
Oh, very
we did a
fun.
little
Very
after
fun. Well,
party.
you had a good crew out there too.
Yep.
Fights.
Yeah,
Brandon was
Fights,
there.
Fights didn't come
Brandon.
out though.
Fights was there.
Fights didn't go out.
Maybe for a sec.
No,
I
I
can't
don't know.
remember.
Well, maybe he did.
Yeah.
But his family was there.
Anyway,
I think,
yeah.
right? So that was why his sister or something like that. Anyway,
Barrera.
Brandon was there. So we
Yep.
all went out to a bar, and we kind of brought people from the club came, and
Yeah.
we went to the bar. And this was right after Surviving Barstool had aired.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sitting at the bar getting a drink or whatever. And, a lot of people were coming up and saying, hey, we were at the show. Good
Oh,
show.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
great. It's nice. Thank you. And then Tyler, that needs to come out of both the video
I'm so
and
sorry.
the audio.
I'm so sorry.
Owen, it is imperative.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
It is absolutely
I'm
imperative.
kicked off the
No,
pod.
you're fine.
It's over.
Son of a Boy Dad is brought to you by Aura Frames. Aura Frames are a digital picture frame that can feature all of your amazing photos uploaded straight from your phone. Are you ready to win Mother's Day and cement your reputation as the best gift giver in the family? Give the moms in your life an Aura digital picture frame preloaded with decades of family photos. Aura Frames was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter, and it's easy to see why. There's unlimited storage, so you can add as many photos, videos, and funny memes as you can find. And it is so simple to set up. Just plug it in and share away. I have one of these. I've had it for a couple of years. My dad gave it to me for Christmas. I have it on my kitchen counter, and it just randomly shows me great memories and things from my past, from my camera roll. I can select which photos I want to make sure are part of it and which ones aren't. So luckily there are no, illicit photos popping up on my kitchen counter when I have guests over, if you know what I mean. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. By the way, the quality is very high. It just kind of walks you through memory lane, and you see photos pop up in your home, and you're like, I remember that. That was good. Look how I used to look. That's funny. I've come a long way. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's auraframes.com. Promo code BOYDAD. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, let's talk about Tempo Meals. When you think about fast food, you probably think about unhealthy, thought-out patties dripping with grease. But when you're on a tight schedule and need to save some time, you might not have any other option. If this sounds familiar, you need to check out Tempo. Tempo is a weekly delivery service that delivers chef-crafted meals from a dietitian-approved menu fresh to your door. Tempo serves up fast, feel-good, single-serving meals that are crafted to cook in just the 3 minutes, so you can eat well without sacrificing taste or convenience. For a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners, 60% off your first box. That's a huge discount. 60% off. Tempo's not playing around. Go to tempomeals.com/boydad. That's tempomeals/boydad for 60% off your first box.
I love Tempo meals.
We love Tempo meals.
Delicious. The food is clean.
Clean,
and
healthy,
easy,
and good.
And it helps us find ways to eat when we don't really want to spend a ton of time cooking.
Exactly. Tempomeals.com/boydad. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right, let's take a minute here to talk about DraftKings. Derby week is here. Gentlemen, suit up in your sharpest. Ladies, let those wide brim hats turn heads. The race is on. But who will rise above the rest and be crowned king of the track? Find out on DK Horse, the #1 downloaded horse betting app. DraftKings is turning up the thrill with the King of the Track promotion. Here's how to get in. Head to DK Horse app, opt in, and bet $5 or more on a horse to win the Derby. If your pick crosses the finish line first, you'll win a share of the $1 million prize pool. Holy smokes. I could use a little piece of that right now. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
$1 million? Yeah.
A piece of it.
I could use a piece of it.
You could use a little piece?
I could use any of it.
Who will reign supreme? Download the DK Horse Racing app and use code BOYDAD. That's code BOYDAD on DK Horse. Bet $5 or more on a horse to win the Derby for your shot at a piece of $1 million. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
All right, let's talk about game time.
Game time.
Game time. NBA playoffs are here, and the only place to buy hard-to-get tickets is Game Time, the official ticking partner of Barstool Sports. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off, so you can save up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets. I was here just looking at tickets for the Pistons-Knicks game, and look what I found. I found a little Game Time pick here for $323 to go see the Pistons at the Knicks the Pistons at the Knicks. The Pistons are coming at the Garden.
Right.
And they're going to play a little ball. In town.
And you can go
at my home stadium.
Thanks to Game Time.
Take the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app account and use code BOYDAD for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account and redeem code BOYDAD for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time.
It's game time.
Francis?
So Nick and I went out after the show, and I was bothered by this girl who was insisting that I tell her whether I liked Mooby or Smelly better.
Yeah.
These two girls that we work with who are TikTok stars. And I told her I didn't really have a preference. I liked them both. And then she started filming me with her and was like, Mooby or Smelly, Mooby or Smelly.
So dumb.
And then I was like, I don't really feel like answering that. Please don't film me. And she goes, what's your fucking problem? And that's when I said I'm leaving, and I decided to leave, and that will be the last time that I ever go out after a show.
Interesting.
But then I went up to him and I was like, he's a smelly guy. It's smelly.
Yeah, he's smelly. He's afraid to admit it because most people pick Mooby.
Probably. I don't want to go against the crowd, but
I don't even know if that's true. Just
gun
a
to
heads
my
up.
head.
That sucks, dude. Just filming people for dumb shit like that.
It just
in
was
public.
too much, man. And I think
I'm not a big video guy. I don't like that either. I don't like when
No.
people come up to you and they're like recording you and you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
I had a lady doing it to me in the crowd one time. I
Yeah.
ended up making a clip out of it. 'Cause,
Oh, really?
Based on how our interaction
That's
went.
great.
Yeah,
That's
she
very
literally
funny.
goes like, well, she's like, are you on TikTok? I'm on stage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, of course I'm on TikTok. She's like, well, you just drop your TikTok and then I'll post it and then I'll tag you. So then my line at the time was like, yeah, I can't wait to see this on your account with 7 followers. And then we get this back. We're like, "Am I working for you? Is that what's happening right now?" And then I think the last line was like, "I said a lot of stuff about Jewish people. Please delete everything." It's still on my Instagram, but it's like the fact that someone would think to even do that.
I've had times where I've been
a
on
live
stage.
show, lady.
Yeah. I've been on stage and I remember I've like, you know when you can sort of see when someone's taking a photo,
Yeah.
but then they keep it for a little too long and you're like, I think this person's filming my set.
I'll ask from stage.
Really?
I'm like, "Are you filming?" Or are you
I've
taking
asked a
photo?
couple times and every time it's been no, and then I stopped asking because I was like, I don't think anyone's filming me. But I used to get very worried that like people were secretly filming.
Dude.
When I went to Sebastian Maniscalco at MSG in September.
Shout out Game Time.
Shout out Game Time. There was a girl sitting directly in front of me. She filmed his entire hour and uploaded the entire hour on Snapchat.
That's what happened to Louis, but on YouTube.
Oh yeah. YouTube makes more sense. She was uploading stories, not just film until she hits the max on how much time she's allowed to film.
You imagine the guy trying to watch all that?
Oh yeah.
Going through it.
At some point, she's going to show her tits. I know it.
Yeah.
Surely, it's going to come back around to her and she won't be wearing any shirt in the middle of MSG.
The idea that one of her Snap friends is also a Maniscalco super fan.
Yeah.
And he's like, "God, I wonder what he's going to close with. I can't wait." We're three jump skips in.
Yeah.
Sebastian.
It was insane, but people do that.
Dude, that's where you totally understand why they use yonder bags.
Yeah.
Of course.
She didn't laugh once. Just like it was like she was sent there by like the New York Post or something.
I don't even get it at concerts. If you have 50 stories at a Taylor Swift concert, what are you doing? Who's watching all that? It's just noise to the viewer.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything.
Yeah,
stage starts out, it's all blurry and shit.
Of course.
Someone's screaming in the background.
They're all screaming. Yeah. We're not getting the same perspective.
No, not at all. It's like when you take a photo of the moon and you show it to someone.
Sure.
And you're like, check out this photo. And they're like, that looks like a dot on your screen.
Yeah.
And like, well, you should have seen it. It was beautiful.
Look how big the moon is. You're going to need to throw something in a reference up. I need a skyscraper or maybe your penis.
Right now, I'm just looking at a white dot on a black screen.
This was not on a telescope. Is that correct?
With the strength of the zoom on cameras these days, for all I know, you're on a spaceship heading there.
Yeah.
And it's quite close. So anyway, I have one other funny story.
Do tell.
I was at a dinner last week with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And I was seated next to a guy that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he looked kind of familiar. I don't know.
A friendly face.
He was a friend of a friend.
Yeah,
so
of
and
course.
We sit down, we start talking, and he goes, "You know, I know you from somewhere." And I was like, "Oh, I'm a comedian. You know, I put stuff on the internet." And he goes, No, it's not that." And then I was like, "Well, that sucks."
Yeah.
Because now I've said,
yeah,
you probably know me from this, and he didn't.
No, I don't laugh much.
You're the guy that wouldn't say movie or smelly on TikTok. I've seen your video. It blew up.
And
he bailed.
We tried to figure out if it was through a mutual connection, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So then I went back, and I was like, "Do you have TikTok?" He's like, "Well, I don't really post, but I watch it a lot." And I'm like, "I made a video recently of me eating a lobster." He's like, "No."
Oh, tough.
"No, it's not. I would remember that."
It feels like he's fucking with you now.
And I'm like, "God damn it, dude. This sucks."
Yeah.
Because I'm genuinely trying to help. And when someone says, "Where do I know you from?" It's 99% of the time, it's because they've seen some dumb thing that I did.
Yeah, I usually just say, "Now, do I know you from somewhere?"
You sure don't, pal.
That's what I do.
I think that's a funnier response.
Yeah.
You're being polite and trying to help him figure it out. But
Yeah.
I think it's easier to.
He's playing humble though, because we were in a car together.
No, not true at all.
We were we were sharing an Uber. I don't even remember where we were co-headlining, and the Uber driver picked us up, and he told her that we were comedians, which I would never do.
Yeah,
we were probably going to the comedy club, and she was probably like, "Who are you going to see?"
We are the show, man.
Remember that?
You're driving it, right?
Where was that?
I like thinking.
Take a look in the rear view.
Yeah.
Where were we going?
I have no idea. That happens all the time.
I don't tell drivers that I'm a comedian.
I don't speak.
You were leading the charge for us.
If I was leading the charge, it must have been an
He walks right
insanely
up.
annoying
For the
Uber
comedians?
driver.
For pick up for the comedians?
Yeah.
I just have Harry? Is that yeah, the comedians.
You ever had a comedian in the back?
I pick a
'Cause
bar
we're-
near the club because I don't even want to be asked.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Especially if I'm going to like Mothership. And listen,
yeah.
I'm not the guy there. I'm
Yeah.
not the guy. I'm a guy.
You'll throw the Vulcan in?
But people love I go to the jackalope. It's
Yeah,
called
yeah.
the jackalope. It's a rabbit with antlers. I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But it's like a block away.
If you're in like cities that aren't big, like if you're not in like New York or like a big populated city, like anytime you're Ubering to a comedy show, they
Yeah.
ask questions about
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if they see you going to a popular club,
Yeah.
oh, so are you a comedian? What
Yeah,
do you,
yeah.
do you know Joe Rogan? Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
no, not really. But I just don't want to deal with all that. So
Yeah, no, it's annoying.
So wait, did you ever figure it out? Did he ever figure the thing, or did he just keep saying no? It's not it.
We never figured it out.
That's hilarious.
We never figured it out.
You never got.
But
to
we
why he
had a
knows
nice conversation. He was a nice guy. He works for a very high end fashion brand, very high end, and
What brand?
Chanel.
Familiar.
You know it?
Oh yeah.
Their handbags are preposterously expensive.
They are.
Very expensive.
How much are they? Like $20,000?
Well, I'm sure you could get one for that. I think the ones that are more commonly seen, probably 5,000 to 8,000.
Makes sense.
That's still insane.
I know,
For a
right?
bag.
Yeah, but it is the one brand. I think that a lot of those major fashion houses are cyclical, so they'll rise in popularity for a year and then fade, and a lot of it apparently has to do with whoever their creative director is, and that because people who care about fashion get behind. So like Pharrell was, when he became the in-house fashion director at Gucci or Prada or whatever, that gave them a lift for that summer.
Yeah,
But-
I remember when Gucci was huge.
And yeah, but right. I mean, right. We think Gucci's always huge.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, it comes and goes as far as being like they're so hot right now.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
have everything they're making.
What is huge for one of these companies? Like they have like 30 people consistently buying their shit.
That's what. I don't
No,
know.
dude, it's
They're
What
like,
are the
oh, we're up on
numbers?
the year.
it's way more than you think because Asia is big
Oh, really?
on buying those things. Yeah,
Interesting. I've never been to
Chinese people go nuts for it.
for Chanel.
All the major fashion brands, because they go to I don't know what it is. When you travel around the world, those brands can decrease in price by like 20%.
Oh, yeah.
As a result of import taxes, and now I can't even imagine what it is.
I was just going to bring that up. Yeah, I
With the
wonder if it's being
riffs?
affected by all the
The riffs, yeah.
riffs.
The riffing?
But like buying a handbag in Paris from a French brand, Hermes or whatever, is significantly cheaper than to buy it in
The United States.
America, which I think is significantly cheaper than to buy it in
Asia.
Hong Kong or Shanghai or
So
whatever.
it's even more expensive in Asia is what you're saying.
I think so, because if you go to Fifth Avenue and you walk into any of those shops, everyone in there, I mean, they're filling up trash bags.
and they're
Bring
Asian.
home. Yeah,
Hashtag Asian humor.
right.
If it's like the authentic product, though, right?
Yeah,
'Cause They
yeah.
do a lot of knockoff shit.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
get like knockoff NBA jerseys for like a nickel.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
China.
yeah.
The kids' fingerprints are still on the numbers. you know?
Yeah,
I saw an Instagram. I saw
the
a
blood
YouTube
from the
short.
thumb, the thumb prick
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the needle.
He made the number 4 with his blood. That's yeah.
Clearly, he was new to the sewing machine. He'll figure it
I
out.
was telling
Yeah.
Francis I saw a YouTube short the other day of an Asian dude he had a big plastic bag full of bottles, and he was like at one of those things that like sucks up the bottles and you get paid with it.
Sick.
And he was like putting one in and then taking it out, like holding on to it, not letting it get sucked up, and then putting another one in. And then the hashtag at the bottom was just hashtag Asian humor.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know what that means, but I like it.
We're using it now
Yeah.
for unrelated stuff.
Hashtag Asian humor.
Hashtag Asian humor. Was it a funny video? Was
No,
it-
not at all. That's why I assumed it was.
Oh,
it wasn't
but
hashtag
to
white
us,
humor.
it's not
yeah,
funny.
no, not at all.
But
no.
to your average,
Didn't crack a
Asian
smile, but I
fella.
sent it to some of my Asian boys. And I was like, you guys are going to love this.
and they just send you a million laughing at it. Because he's not letting it go. You see, he pulls it And you're like, yeah, I guess.
This takes me back to my roots.
Yeah.
I went to the gym this morning.
Which one do you go to?
New
Did you?
development for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've started getting back out there.
How's it going?
It's going actually really good.
Really?
Yeah. You
Consistent?
were somewhat of an inspiration also. When
No
we did
way.
spots.
Was I?
Just you saying I had a great workout this morning, and then did the show, and I was like, I've been being a piece of shit all day. I need to get back in there.
Yeah, it's
Because
kinda
I
my
used to
thing.
go all the time when I played a little college ball, and then I just let it go. Too many beers. And
Yeah.
got to cut back.
Shit
still
catches
not in-
up.
What's that?
It catches up.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'm still not in excellent shape, but I got some of my strength back, so I'm trying to.
Well, all it is like you work out consistently forever, and then you take one day off, and then you're like, I could just never work out again.
Exactly.
And then you don't work out.
This is something I said to you that night. I said I built up my reserves
Yeah.
of athleticism
yeah.
and my savings. I got a lot of savings because I was a 10-year ball player.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then, dude, I posted I posted an old reel, and seeing the thumbnail next to me now,
yeah.
I was like, we got to fix this, man. we gotta slim out some of that.
Start
That's
chipping
tough.
away.
But I leave it up.
Yeah.
I'm not photoshopping like you ladies. You
No.
know? We gotta hit the gym. We gotta slim that down a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I need to lose fucking 40 pounds.
Sure.
I might be the weakest I've ever been. Like as in
But
my
I don't think
including when I
you've-
was a baby.
You're not fat. Though.
I don't
think
think
40. You'd look a little sick.
No, I don't
That's
think
a
you
lot.
should lose weight either.
You start looking like Tom Segura. You see how he looks now? I mean, it's good. He looks so good.
I
People
wish I
think
looked
he
like
has
Tom
like
Segura.
cancer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He lost a shit.
So
ton of
shout
weight.
out to Tommy. You're doing great things.
I think you should.
No,
you
I need to
should
put on muscle.
Turn whatever stuff you got into some muscle.
Right. But losing 40 is not. That's not the.
I need to lose 50 if we're being honest.
Okay.
50 pounds.
You're just in the hospital.
Because the thing is, I have no muscle, 0.
Sure,
But I have fat and a lot
Right.
of it.
but not
Big
the
old
50s.
titties.
You don't
Big
have
old
that much
titties.
fat, dude.
Just because you can't see them.
You're a little flabby, probably.
My tits are touching my belly button as we
Take your
speak.
shirt off. Show the people what they've been
Show
missing
us.
all these years.
Show us.
This is why they bring me on to get these guys. I mean, this guy's got. He looks
Oh,
like
he'd
Thor
take the
over
shirt
here.
off at any second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was wishing you asked him that.
No, I wasn't.
Ready to rip that shirt in half.
I would
Yeah.
never do
Let the
such a
chest hair
thing.
breathe
See,
a
no,
little bit.
now he's projecting.
Shane once told me it's not cool that you have a good body, Francis.
Well, I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's cool to
he
have
goes,
a good body,
it's,
but it
it's,
definitely
it's
feels good.
weird. It's weird that you're in shape, and it's not good for your career.
It is.
Yeah.
It is funny. Objectively funnier to be fat. That's true.
It's objectively funnier to be fat, but also like you're not. I wouldn't say you're in a shape. You're in normal shape. Just everyone else is in such bad shape that we're like
He always
Francis is
does
built
this.
like
I think
a
it's.
fucking.
Well, I think it's by comparison.
we're
yeah.
Francis is built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
But no, you like I don't think you're not like Rogan big where it's like it's gonna start impacting how people look at you.
No, and I don't mean that.
Yeah.
I don't mean that.
Like no one's gonna be on set being like, who's this fucking jacked
When
guy?
your arms start popping through a hoodie, that's Rogan.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's been on a couple of shows. His muscles are coming out of
Yeah.
the hoodie sleeves.
like a champion hoodie
and you're like,
too,
oh
something
my god,
thick.
this guy works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Rogan were wearing your outfit right now,
Oh, he'd be bursting through it.
it would all look right.
It would be skin tight.
He'd be like, "Whoa, what was it? Where'd you get that $600 Patriots crew neck?
Guys wearing Under Armour on set.
What is that from Chanel?"
Yeah.
I always crack up at the NFL store, like now, like if you look at like Fanatics or something, because like these sweatshirts, like you can't buy these anymore. Like they're all old and they don't make them anymore. And if you go on their website now, it's like it'll be like a T-shirt that's like it's for like everything is built for like bodybuilders. And you'll go on like the Patriots like merch website and there'll be like a T-shirt with this like weird futuristic Patriots logo, and then there's just randomly like a hood attached to the shirt for some reason,
Mhm.
and that's for jacked dudes.
Yeah.
Wearing the T-shirt with a hood.
Or sleeveless. They'll do
Yeah.
sleeveless hoodie
Yeah.
now.
Sleeveless hoodie's crazy. I
Yeah.
can't imagine having a hood if I don't have a sweatshirt on
Yeah,
Sure.
I agree.
or a jacket.
I have a physics question for you guys.
Okay.
Did you ever hear about how if a gun gets fired into water, that the bullet slows down immediately? You ever heard about that?
Yeah.
When you say immediately, do you mean like
Okay, so this is my question.
because it still goes like it's still traveling, but it's just a lot slower.
Let's say that
Yeah.
you were underwater and someone tried to shoot you in a pool.
like in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How deep underwater would you have to be in order to be absolutely not at risk of that bullet hurting you? Is my question.
Well, how jacked am I? Am I Francis jacked or am I flabby?
True, that does play an impact.
Yeah.
That does have a big impact in the
How
decision.
far in the water?
Yeah. How deep? How
It probably
far?
depends on the gun too. Yeah.
Probably.
If
Yeah.
they have like armor piercing rounds, or if
But
it's
that's
just...
I don't know the answer to that because
What are we thinking? Like cop gun? Like just a standard?
It has to do
Glock,
with the
9mm?
density of water, I think. And by the way, people get on me for not knowing stuff. I don't profess to know things. If you come to this podcast to be taught things, go fucking kill yourself.
We could bring data back.
We are a
You could
dumb,
you could do it.
conversational
Okay.
comedy podcast, okay? I don't know shit. I'm a moron, right? There's a reason I make the least amount of money of every single one of my friends.
That's because your friends are all billionaires.
They're all the most successful people
I'm
on
the least
earth.
jacked. I have the least money.
I'm the guy who, when we go to group dinners, I don't get hit with a Venmo request anymore. They all split it, and I'm off the hook. They're treating me.
They're
It's like
splitting
they think I'm going
they're
to
splitting
die
the
soon.
fuel for the way home
Yeah.
on the jet.
Yeah. But all of that is to say, what do you think? What is the answer to that? Do you have any idea? Do you guys know the physics of that?
No, I mean, I would assume it depends on the bullet. Like, I'd assume it depends on if it's like a sharper bullet or not.
I'll let
right?
you guys go back to talking about comedy while I look this up.
Well, I'm interested to hear the.
Yeah, I kind of want to know the answer. Though.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Like, if
Okay.
you shot like a 9mm into the water, I assume if you were like, I don't know, how deep do you have to be?
Are you guys going to put this in the next Barstool Survivors? This is going to be a challenge.
That would be awesome. Would you do it if they found the exact, like, you know what you ever see when the physics teacher will do like the thing with the bowling ball and they'll put it up against your face
Okay.
and then let it swing back and then it comes back and it comes like right up to your nose but doesn't hit your nose.
Testing your gangster a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like they can see like you, so you know it's not going to hit you, but they're seeing like if you flinch, it
Of
might
course.
hit you.
Then you're a pussy.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
and now the
they're like,
whole
well, it wouldn't have
school-
hit you if you
The
didn't
whole
fucking
school-
move.
The whole
Yeah,
class knows
exactly.
you're a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like would you do that with a bullet if they were like if you're below 13 feet under in the water and we shot down, it wouldn't kill you unless you went above 13.
Am I
feet.
shirtless or do I get?
No,
like
you get
a-
to keep your shirt on.
Do I get a sleeveless hoodie? Can I have a sleeveless hoodie from the NFL store?
Okay, I got this, guys.
What's the answer?
Okay. A lot of factors, like you said, Sass, determine whether it's lethal.
I think I brought up a couple factors.
You definitely did.
But in general, if the bullet is shot from an angle of 30 degrees, so, whatever.
Yeah.
Then being underwater in the range of 3 to 5 feet can ensure safety from most guns.
Whoa.
How about that?
30 degrees though. What is that? They're not even shooting it at you? Wouldn't 30 degrees be like down here?
Oh yeah, so just go over then.
Yeah, it'd just go over you.
Because then they're saying.
Or I guess if you're aiming it at the person.
Yeah, you're aiming at the person.
So like say
At a
you're
30
there,
degree
you're the
angle.
kettlebell,
Yeah.
and then you just go like this.
Yeah.
You don't try to catch it.
If it's underwater and it's not going to hurt you, I would try to catch it.
So it
if it's at a speed that's, I still probably wouldn't. Just you have time to do
Yeah.
one of these maybe.
Yeah.
water is 800% denser than air,
See,
which
that's
is
you.
why
You're headbutting that bowling ball. That's
Yeah,
what
I
you're
know.
doing.
True. Did it say what kind of bullet has to be used?
I guess there are bullets that are being developed that can travel better through water now.
Oh, that's good.
Is it?
Make sure nothing is escapable.
A lot of aquatic attacks recently that they're having to upgrade their shit.
He got in the water. Good thing we got our fucking water bullets on us.
Yeah, but they gotta like change bags.
Yeah.
There's a scene.
God damn it, Gary! Did you have him in your bag? I don't know. He's right here.
They're only sending us one mag per police station.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the opening scene in Saving Private Ryan that stays with me, which is when they are invading the beaches of Normandy and they get out of those boats, the amphibious kind of delivery boats.
Yeah.
And the front opens and a bunch of them jump into the water and they show some of the underwater cameras and the bullets are zipping through and some
Yes.
guys are getting hit. And I always wondered, is that scientifically accurate?
Yeah, that is interesting.
I always wondered that.
We just Google it. Those guys are fine. Then.
Yeah,
Probably.
Well, it
They're-
depends
they're
on
3
if
to
the
5
water
alive.
if the bullet had gone more to 3 to 5 feet under the water.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Anyway,
I do wonder.
those are just things I was thinking about. Doesn't matter.
They probably would have Googled it like on the way to Normandy. That'd be funny. All right, guys, we got to figure this out. How deep do we need to be?
You're gonna want to stay. near
I'm not
the
going
bottom.
first. I'll Google it. I'll tell you guys where to jump. One of the most horrifying human experiences. I've watched some interviews with those guys. Just the anticipation of the door
sure.
being dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one guy was like, they dropped the door and everybody died except for me and like one other guy.
Damn.
It's like,
Well, that's what seems to have happened, right?
Yeah.
Like in fucking Band of Brothers, that's like the whole beginning couple episodes, they're all like, it's a group of people, and then by the third episode, there's like one dude from the original group. Right?
but just listening to the bullets and
Oh,
then knowing
yeah.
that they have to drop the
Oh,
door.
yeah. I would be such a pussy with
You're
that.
just shitting yourself.
I'd be like, dude, are you out of your mind? No.
Can we go like a little left? Can we turn? We can't turn?
There's no way you're dropping us off here.
I mean, more importantly,
Who planned this? Who's the president?
was
right
there
now?
any determination of who stood in the front versus
Oh,
row 2?
I'm sure it's
Right.
just however
row
they
3?
got
You
on
gotta
the
draw
boat.
straws or something?
Yeah.
I think that to me, and by the way, that's been the case for so long. I think my guess is that now there's a little bit more of
Oh, yeah. They
you had
definitely
it.
keep the
You
top
took the front
dogs.
row yesterday, so you go to
Yeah.
the back
It's
today.
like going to a comedy show.
It's like flying in
I'm
a
not sitting up front.
in a winged migration formation as a flock of geese.
Yeah.
But in the Civil War, I mean, if you were just standing in the front, you shot,
Yeah.
Dumbest.
and then
wait.
Dumbest military
you're
tactic.
dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're like, we'll see.
Yes.
I think for me, I'm 30. If I get that front row, I turn to the guy and I go, "Hey, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, but I
Yeah.
really need to go, and I'm not going to be of any use. I can't shoot when I have to pee."
No. Dude, storming the beaches of Normandy, I would be on the boat and I would be like, I'm not done getting ready. I'd be coming up with like,
I'm still
yeah.
tying my shoe.
I'd be like, you guys know I
gotta-
take forever.
Yeah.
I'm always late.
Yeah, you just show up late to
Yeah,
the boats.
yeah.
I need to tape my shoulder.
Hey, you guys go out. I'll see
Oh,
how it
tape
looks.
I got to
I
tape
gotta
up.
tape up. I'm in the training table still. I gotta do my ankles.
Yeah.
I jump out of the boat. I roll my ankle in the water. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah. I need to do some stim.
Get on the table.
Yeah. Where's our trainer? Trainer!
Does anyone have any?
Yeah, they yell for a trainer after they get shot instead of the medic.
I need hot tub, then cold tub, then back to hot tub.
There's
That
a
would
guy
be
putting
awesome.
stim on a guy on the beach while they're getting shot at.
I'm not done with my leg balloons.
Yeah.
Whatever those fucking things
It would be awesome if they were just in those boats pulling up to Normandy and they've got those big ass winter jackets the quarterbacks wear, like Patrick Mahomes has on.
He's got his hands in the warmers.
Yeah.
I can't shoot if my hands are cold. And they're open in the sleeve.
Yeah.
All right, we're going left, I think.
Okay, tell me this. I got another question. Speaking of this, when quarterbacks are warming up along the sidelines, they often have that guy when they're throwing.
The guy throwing balls to him?
stands next to them, who catches it and hands it to them.
Perfect job.
Is that because those are receivers who are warming up their hands, or are those guys protecting the quarterbacks from having to catch the ball themselves so they don't hurt their hands?
Yeah, probably so they don't hurt their hand, so they don't like jam a finger or something.
I always thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would suck.
I mean, if you think about it, you're like,
Designated
these are $60 million
catchers.
paws right
Of
here.
course,
Yeah, designated catchers. I always thought that was pretty cool. And then the last thing I'll say,
It's
Nick
probably
Murphy,
they probably get paid like a perfectly fine. Like they probably get paid like six figures.
Oh, yeah.
Just chill on the sidelines and have a catch with Patrick Mahomes every day.
yeah.
Actually drop one. Like, that's coming out of your
Unreal.
check. God damn it.
Yeah. Patrick fucking hates when you guys drop the ball.
Trainer!
I'll say this, Nick Murphy.
Yeah.
When in learning that you played college basketball,
Mhm.
that is the most impressive sport to have played in college.
Thank you.
Number one.
I'd agree.
I would also agree with
When
that.
you find out, oh my God, triple points if you're white. When you find out,
It was Division III, so I
it doesn't
lose
matter.
points.
It
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Sorry.
I think. Sorry. When you find out that someone has played college basketball, that to me, I don't know, man. That's crazy. That's a level of that sport because they only ever, what do they take, 2 recruits a class? 3?
I think we had like 4 or 5
The
in mind.
team is so small.
Yeah.
How many players are on a basketball team?
You don't walk
It is,
onto a basketball team.
Roughly 12 to 15, I guess, depending on
Oh shit!
the size of
It's
the
so
program.
I
small.
would assumed at least 20.
Teams are so small.
Did we have? We might have had 20, but again, I think it depends on the
Yeah,
size
yeah,
of the
makes
program.
sense.
And, yeah.
That's still crazy though.
yeah.
There isn't some guy who on a basketball team who just happened to be super good at sumo wrestling.
No.
And they were like, hey, why don't we throw some pads on that guy?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's first team all conference.
What was that video of the dude from the Cowboys that was going up against a sumo wrestler and he was getting just bombed?
Oh, I saw that.
Who was it?
I forget his name, but I saw the video.
Yeah. That video was sick. Have you
Yeah?
seen that?
No.
It's insane.
Do you remember when Brock Lesnar tried to make the Minnesota Vikings practice squad?
No.
He's
Oh, I-
starting fights with everyone.
No,
That's
no.
hilarious. I just met Brock like 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah,
Is he-
nicest guy.
Is he really?
Nicest guy. Yeah.
He's
Damn.
scary, man. There's
He did-
no
you-
one I'd
you-
want to fight less.
I saw him bounce a guy, and I had that exact same thought because he was nagging the group we were with, nagging, and Brock just goes, "Hey, buddy, it's time to go." And you see, even if you don't know who Brock Lesnar is, you see a guy that size say that to you, you think, "Hey, buddy, it's time to go." This guy had the opposite and just kept with the phone and the and Brock like just one arm just lifted the guy and they just walk out together. Never saw him again. Yeah.
Dude, that's
it's
I think that was
crazy.
it. He didn't like beat him up or anything, but it's just
Oh,
like,
yeah, dude. When those guys are that big, they don't even hurt people. They just lift them.
yeah.
They just pick them up and remove them
Yes.
I've been hurt by someone like that.
from that size.
Well, who was it? It was do you remember the UFC guy? Did you watch The Ultimate Fighter ever?
The Ultimate Fighter now.
Did you watch The Ultimate Fighter?
A little bit of it, yeah. And I used to be a bigger UFC guy. Who were you thinking of?
Did you ever watch the season that had Kimbo Slice on it?
No. I just saw his professional fights, but I didn't watch his Ultimate Fighter episodes.
That was also the season that had the guy who became a comedian, Joe Rogan's buddy.
Brennan Schaub.
Yeah, he was on that season.
Okay.
He made it to the finals and then lost to a guy who was a pretty experienced UFC guy, I feel like. But
Okay.
anyway, there was a guy on that season. I can't remember his name. Matt Mitrione.
Oh.
That's his name.
Oh.
Matt Mitrione.
Okay.
And I was in Indianapolis doing a club that used to be there. I think it was called I don't know. I can't remember. It was an old club. This was like 7 years ago. And I went and did it. And Matt Mitrione came to one of the shows. And afterwards we were hanging out up in the bar. And he was showing me how to block leg kicks
Interesting.
in the bar. And he goes, yeah, you just raise your leg like this.
Check it.
You check the kick. Somehow, if you just go like that, somehow I guess it doesn't hurt you
Still
as much.
gotta
It
hurt.
still depends where they hit you, but
And he goes,
yeah.
he goes, try it. And I was like, dude, I really don't want you to kick me. And he goes, I won't kick you hard. I'll just show you. Just here, I'll just come in and I'll do this and
Even
you lift your
10%
leg.
from those guys.
And dude, he gave me a 10% and I couldn't walk for 3 days.
just hearing those, watching the fight,
Yeah.
you see them take it. But I know, like me and my buddies have been watching, be like, if we got one of those, just
Yeah.
Imagine the worst time you've ever walked into a table
Yeah.
with your thigh right here.
Yeah.
Isn't that called a Charlie horse?
Charlie horse is like
Charlie's
a cramp.
cramp.
That's a cramp?
Yeah.
I always thought when you get that bruise like a dead leg, I always thought that was a Charlie horse.
If you've ever had a Charlie horse, you'd know what a
Oh,
Charlie.
I know.
Yeah.
When the muscle balls up and
Yeah.
it's like,
I used to get those when I was drinking all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd wake up hungover and I would stretch out my leg.
Little
and it would
dehydrated, probably.
immediately Just
Yeah,
Yeah, you
immediately
curl your
lock
toes.
up.
If you
Yeah.
curl your toes, it'll happen.
That's what it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever have
I
those excuse me. If you ever have those toe curling orgasms,
Toe curling orgasms.
yeah, those can really bring on
Yeah,
the
Charlie horse. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever come so hard that your leg
Are you
cramps?
Charlie.
Yeah. Bring on the old Charlie.
Fuck, you're gonna make me Charlie.
I always check those. I always check it.
Shit, I'm Charlie horse.
Chuck horse.
I'm horsing.
I check the orgasm.
Yeah.
I lift my leg. And I'm like, no, ma'am, no. I'm not coming yet.
Yeah.
Checking the orgasm.
Yeah, yeah. You put the leg out like that, and the cum just goes back down your dick. into
My
your balls.
my Ultimate Fighter knowledge was I obviously McGregor, and then the Cody Garbrandts and the TJ Dillashaw, I believe his name, and then this guy Uriah Faber with the ass chin.
Oh yeah,
and then,
I liked him. Well,
but then the
Uriah
funniest
Hall.
clip was, Uriah Hall almost killed a guy.
Well, they coached. That was the season where I think Uriah Faber was coaching in that season, but maybe not. Uriah Hall
he did that spinning kick.
He did the spinning kick and
just
dead. And then the next fight, he broke a guy's face. He broke his face.
He was so good.
Yeah, but he didn't end up having a very good career for some reason.
I know.
UFC's a tough one because it's like, even if you win, you don't really get to, like, I'm assuming those guys go out and party after, but they're probably just in so much pain.
Take a lot of damage.
The entire,
Yeah.
it's not like you're like an NBA player and you win the finals and you're like, you gotta wait like 3 weeks to be like,
You can
let's
still
celebrate.
walk. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need like immediate surgery.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say though? You said your experience.
The best clip ever. I mean, there's probably other ones, but my favorite is who's the fucking Chael Sonnen
Yeah.
when he's getting into it with
And he's wearing flip flops.
Silva, Vanderlei Silva, and he goes, "I can't let you get close." And he shoves him. That's the best one.
He's wearing flip
He is
flops.
so quotable. He's so good. He's so good on the mic, and he got plenty of title fights. I think he won maybe one.
He almost beat Anderson Silva.
And then he got like leg locked or something.
It
at the
was a
last second.
submission at the very end of the
Yeah,
fight,
yeah,
but it was probably, other than the one where Anderson Silva got actually knocked out by just being showboaty.
Yeah.
It was the best effort against him for sure.
But his shit talk is A+, top level. He has so many good quotes.
Yeah.
He was making fun of two Brazilian guys and was talking about how they were trying to feed a carrot to a bus because they thought it was a donkey. He was just shitting on Brazilians in general. But he says it with a straight face.
Yeah.
Lebitard tried to get him once. He was like, how many more fights do you think you're going to go before you think you just run out of gas? Because you haven't really won in a while. And then Chael goes, I don't know, Dan, how many times are you going to, how much longer are you going to be holding a pen and not write anything down? I mean, what are we talking about here?
I've never gotten into UFC.
I've kind of faded, but there was the Conor stuff was fun. The Ronda stuff was fun.
What was the really good one recently? Like within the last year? The one with the crazy knockout where he was like, he pointed at he was like, now. Because the fight was about to end.
Yeah.
Max Holloway, maybe?
Yeah. I
he's
watched
fun.
that live. That was fucking sick.
Izzy, obviously.
Yeah.
Alex Pereira is great.
Yeah.
They're fun fights, but I just like the star John Jones, of course.
Yeah, John Jones.
That was probably the most I watched was John Jones.
I think one of the issues with UFC is that your shelf life typically is almost too short for you to bask in your stardom long enough for the world to get to know you.
Right.
It is nice how when like things start going against you though, like in UFC, like it's not like if you're like other sports, like go back to basketball, like Mavs Celtics last year, like Celtics fucking destroyed the Mavs, right? And then they got to live through that shame. UFC, you start losing, you get KO'd, it's over. Yeah. You don't have to experience any of the shame.
Oh my God.
Lights out.
I couldn't agree less.
Really?
Well, the shame
Your
sets
body
in when you
shuts
wake
down.
up and everyone's standing around you telling you what happened.
Everyone's standing around you being like, are you okay?
I thought you were going to make a totally different... I'm with Francis on this. It's really
and then it's like
to get knocked
weeks
out.
of watching the highlight, of coming to terms with the injury you
Let me get
sustained.
the tapes from that.
Yeah. You're not, unless you die.
He's like, we're editing this out.
You do experience the shame. It's just later.
Yeah, I guess waking up and having 70,000 people looking at you.
Is it making sense now, Harry? Is it now that
the ref always says, he goes, what happened? You got caught.
Yeah.
Some of them are so bad they try to fight the ref because they don't even know that they're out.
Exactly.
Yeah. A lot of I've seen that where they don't even know, like there's UFC fighters today that are like still convinced that they never got KO'd.
They have protocol to like handle the fighter because
they
still
fully
swinging.
don't remember they're still swinging.
Some of them do. They try to knock out Herb Dean. He's just like, buddy, you're done. You're out.
That's like, you ever see like when a dog gets woken up from a dream while they're running,
right?
And then they wake up and they just run straight into a wall.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that. Just waking
Or they
up.
start
Yeah.
trying to bite your leg.
Start
And-
fighting the doctors.
Again, instead of going home to their nice house to nurse their
Yeah.
wounds and
I think-
drink
yeah,
a
I
beer,
think
they go to the hospital for an
Yeah.
MRI.
Far more embarrassing to get knocked unconscious on television.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there's. that's
Speaking of which, one of the
not
biggest
ideal.
threats of that, this is the most tense one I ever watched, was when Francis Ngannou made his run, and then he fought Stipe Miocic the
Yeah.
first time.
Mhm.
That's the most tense I've been watching a UFC fight. Because if you got flicked by Ngannou at that time, you are unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just Stipe trying not to outlast him.
Yeah.
And he
was
did.
coming like this.
He did. He
Yeah.
outlasted him because Francis didn't have his cardio up back then.
But when Stipe then fought this the second time,
Oh,
his
he got-
knee
he got-
buckled
yeah,
so
Right.
bad.
He ended up getting knocked out by Cormier too.
Yeah.
But that fight was like, can he just survive?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Francis was killing people.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when
you
Dana
a
had
big
him do
fan?
the
Well, I think Francis Ngannou is an interesting character again, where like he wasn't discovered until he was like 30.
yeah. He was like a construction.
He was
worker, I
working
think.
construction in
Crazy, yeah.
Africa, and they were like, "You're the biggest person alive. Why
yeah.
don't we put some tiny
one.
gloves on your hands?"
Certainly some historical precedent there.
You see that?
Going to Africa and going that one.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Was he just a straight up construction worker?
Was
Yeah.
it in Africa? I thought he was like French or something.
No,
Was
I
it
think he.
France?
Well, I'll look it up.
He was
'cause I don't
just
wanna
straight up
have that
construction
wrong.
worker, and someone showed up and was like, "We got to get you in the ring."
I guess, yeah.
That's
Or they're like, "Hey,
crazy.
come beat the shit out of this guy."
Oh,
or come
what a
fight this
fucking
guy."
life that is! He
Yeah.
must have been so pumped.
I get you.
They're like, "You're
yeah.
gonna do this for 5 years, and then you're gonna be rich forever."
Yeah, but he, I mean, clearly was in some sort of mental state where he was able to stay ripped, and
Yeah.
unless he's just naturally like
Yeah.
that. But he's still a happy guy, probably working out. And
I saw a video the
Lifting
other day
cinder
of
blocks.
of someone cutting weight,
oh man,
and then one of the comments was like, "Fucking moron! Why don't you just lose the weight beforehand? You have so much time to prep."
hilarious comment, hilariously uneducated.
Oh yeah,
comments.
and then of course it has like 10,000 likes.
yeah.
Everyone's like, "Dude, I know." This fucking idiot.
But you'll get those on your podcast,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
about whatever. Someone's gonna comment about your working out and how they're gonna go lose 40 pounds. Yeah, fucking dumbass.
Okay, here. This is interesting.
It's gonna be me. It's gonna
Yeah,
be my comment on this.
Francis
episode.
Ngannou. He lived in Cameroon until he was 26.
Whoa.
Dang.
And he was like working in a sand quarry as of 10.
Tough job.
And
Those guys get swallowed up.
yeah,
They do. They fall through the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not when you're that size.
Francis was the first one to climb back out. He's like Batman.
Yeah.
He climbed out of the pit.
Yeah.
Everyone chanting.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
like an avalanche times 1,000.
Yeah, it's bad.
Way harder to get out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put it this way: there's no Saint Bernard on earth that can sniff you out of a collapsing
Yeah.
sand pit.
Yeah.
Pretty tough in those other countries, huh, fellas?
Yeah. But he moved to Paris when he was 26
France.
to pursue professional boxing.
Okay.
But he was jailed for 2 months in Spain for illegally crossing the border. He had no money in Paris, no friends, no place to live.
Oh,
he was
not even a
homeless.
You don't know how to throw that in there.
Uh,
He had no money or friends, just in case you thought his social life might be doing well.
yeah.
You're saying this convicted felon couldn't get his social circle back together?
He was living on the streets. He found his way to a boxing club and he met a guy that, they started figuring it
That's
out.
a movie.
Yeah, that is. I'm surprised.
Just
it hasn't
living
been
on
made
the
into a movie.
streets and then walking into a boxing gym.
Yeah.
Of course, they were probably like,
Yeah, obviously.
yeah, we'll give you a couple
Yeah.
rounds.
Do I have to like scan a barcode or anything? No, dude.
Yeah.
Obviously not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta get more into the UFC stuff. The only thing I ever got into UFC like was the original UFC stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like when there was no
When
weight
there was
limits.
no rules.
Yeah.
Ken
It would be like-
Shamrock.
Yeah.
It would be
That
like a
shit was
sumo
crazy.
wrestler.
We were-
going
I
up
was just
against,
talking
like,
about
Guy
the
with
boss.
in literally like a karate
Yeah,
outfit with a
that's
black
the
belt
Gracie,
on.
Royce Gracie. I was talking about this with
Yeah,
Ari Matty at
yeah.
Mothership. He used to fight.
Yeah.
And dude, that was the Gracies, of course,
They
are
were
like
winning
the
it, yeah.
Godfather family of all that shit.
But he won like all of them.
He just choked everybody
Yeah.
out because they're like, wait, we're not.
Yeah.
What the hell is this guy doing?
It was sick, dude.
Ken
It
Shamrock was in
the-
there ready to steroid
Yeah.
people to death.
Yeah, it's like doing rock, paper, scissors where you only know rock and scissors.
And then some guy
And someone's like,
invents paper.
I have those, but I also have paper.
It was, dude. There was, I forget one of them. I forget what it was, but it was like a sumo wrestler versus a kickboxer.
Yeah.
And the kickboxer was wearing like jean shorts or something, like something insane.
Yeah, they didn't have like standard uniforms yet.
No, and a lot of dudes going shirt on.
He's like, should I change? No, just come in what you got on. It's good.
Yeah. Because it probably paid like $1,000.
What are those, Chanel?
Yeah.
But the craziest one is this guy gets put in what's called the crucifix.
Yeah.
It's a famous clip. It's where you have one of his arms, you're laying across his back. Yeah, you have one arm in your legs and you got the other one, and then you just have one free, and you just 12 to 6s to the guy's temple. He's out by elbow 2, and he gets like 8 more in.
I think I've seen that.
I don't know where that guy is
I
now,
think I've seen
but he's
that.
got to
That's
be
fucked.
He's
crippled.
digging sand and camera.
Yeah. Digging sand's a tough
Because there
gig.
wasn't a Herb Dean either to
Yeah.
be like, the fight is over.
No, they had like
just watching
they had like
him
Donald
just
Trump
bouncing.
guest refereeing, just bringing in the person who sang the national anthem
Yeah, you gotta
to
imagine
fucking ref the fight.
Dana watching this guy just get obliterated, like, this is gonna go places.
Oh, yeah.
This is it, fellas.
Dude, I think like UFC 1 through 6, there was no weight limits at all.
So crazy.
I don't know when it changed.
Well, you got to figure out your product.
Yeah.
You got to figure out. Because there has to have been one that was just so absurd that they're like, all right, we need to make some requirements.
I watched
here.
something. There was some documentary I watched. It might have been on YouTube, where they talked about those early years, and the first real stars were the first real star was Tito Ortiz, right?
And Chuck
UFC
Liddell. They had
12.
the big
But
first,
then,
like, rivalry.
but Tito was like a star, and then Chuck Liddell came in
The
and
Iceman.
started like really hurting people. And
Yeah.
Tito was more of like a diva star, and Chuck
changed the game.
beat the shit out of him. But then Chuck started getting knocked out in a way where it was like,
Dude.
when he would get knocked out, he was so unconscious that from that point on, anytime he got flicked, as you said,
Yeah.
the same thing would happen. It took
Rashad
so
Evans.
little.
That was a bad one.
Yeah.
He got flatlined.
Yeah.
And then Rashad was part of the. Then you got
Rampage.
Thank you. And then
Mhm.
John Jones came in and
Mhm.
started, but he was doing those fucking knee kicks. That's the one thing I never understood why that was legal. There's interviews that Rampage has done where he's like, John Jones just tries to kick your knees backwards.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's like, it's bullshit.
What do they call that? There's a name for that kick.
Cheating. It seems it should be illegal.
Well, he got.
I love John Jones. I think he's great.
Isn't his only
But-
loss a result of a referee decision that he had?
Yeah, he got
Cheated?
disqualified for some other. I
Yeah.
think it was one of the elbow things or something like
Yeah.
that. But the reverse. I mean, you can't fight a guy who's doing that, right?
I have no idea.
If he's
Probably
kicking
not.
your knees backwards
Yeah.
every time you try to advance.
I don't think I would be able to fight anyone that is in any way moving towards my direction.
Yeah. That'd be your first instinct.
With
Kick
any
those
sort of
knees out.
force. Yeah.
If Sass is on a date with someone and they're about to get mugged, he goes, "Get in front of me."
Oh, I'm definitely a flight guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to the gym. I got to be able to defend myself, defend my property.
Have you been running into issues with that a lot
Now,
recently?
but it's like I'm.
Or you just think it's coming?
I just think I'm so like. I think I'm a level of weak that like it's a problem. Like
Okay.
it's a safety problem.
Uh-huh.
Like I gotta lock it in, put on some more muscle.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever had some like worked out in your
Yeah,
life?
yeah. When I was going into college through college. When I was in high school going into college, then through college I worked out.
By the way, he's talking about a period of
I went to
4
college for
months.
6 months.
This is like in the 40-year-old virgin where he calls tits a bag of sand. A bag of sand. What?
I worked out from when I was like 17 to like 21.
You know, you do the bench reps. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
the bench flats. You ever do bench flat pickups?
I will say today was the first day where I went to the gym and I went back after I used to go and I didn't try to like ego lift at all. Like I was like, I'm just going to do the realistic weights here. And let me tell you, Temple doesn't make dumbbells small enough for a guy like me.
I mean, my advice.
I was doing lat raises with 12.5s.
That's fine. I only really do them with like 15s.
I mean, they got to at least make the 12.5s look a little bigger, you know?
Sometimes they make them like pink too.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
They have the yoga ones.
They gender
Yeah.
the
You're like,
little
did,
guys.
did a woman in the suburbs walk here with these? Did she
They're the
leave
yoga
them at
weights.
the end of her walk?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are tough.
Those are for like stay-at-home moms who do
Poor
classes.
Harry
Yeah.
doing his ladder races
Yeah.
with pink 12.5s.
They're good for throwing at dogs that come running at you from someone's yard.
I look at you with the pink ones. I'm like, this is to keep people from fighting you. This is to keep the attention away.
I'll get back up there though. My bench will improve fast. I got a lot of mass. I got a lot of mass around my chest.
My bench will improve.
My bench will improve fast for sure. I got legs tomorrow, which will be a fucking nightmare. If you think chest is
He's
tough
talking
for
about
me,
not ego lifting. He's talking like fucking Brock Lesnar right now.
I mean, I'm not trying to do the weight that I used to be able to do.
I got legs tomorrow.
That's what Brock Lesnar would say, man.
Yeah.
My bench will improve quickly. I will rapidly advance
My chest
through
will
the stages
improve.
of lifting.
The problem is the road, but I'm not on the road right now. So.
But that's my thing. I got
the
this,
road is where I work out the most.
well, your hotel
consistently.
usually has
There's
one,
nothing
right?
else to do.
I hate those hotel.
What else
gyms.
are you gonna do? You
Lay
just
in
go.
bed.
You go to the shitty hotel gym and you go and you fucking run on the treadmill a little, and
Even
you
if you just get on that,
and
it'll
you
keep
do-
you slim.
you just push ups
True,
and you do
true.
some fucking shit.
I'm just trying to have days where I'm trying to avoid the days where I just don't do anything, like where I don't move.
Dude,
Sure.
to not
like
work
yesterday,
out on
I
the road.
probably got under 500 steps.
You want to hear something crazy?
You got under 500
No.
steps?
On Saturday, I walked 36 holes of golf.
Damn.
28,000 steps.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
That's so much.
Round about 1,000 per hole.
36
Well,
is
not quite.
so many, dude.
Not quite. 0.7, 0.8.
Those in a day?
36 holes in a day. I walked it. Yeah.
18's a lot.
Yeah.
How many miles?
It's probably like 14.
I was going to say, because the most I've ever got was like 25,000, and that was on a 14-mile hike.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Were you still on like a master's kick and you wanted to get back out there? Is that why you...
What happened was I went with my buddy. We played in the morning, and you got to take a caddy in the morning. So we went with our caddy. We had a great time, and there was nobody out there because it was kind of threatening rain all day, but it
Yeah.
was not really raining. So we had a long lunch. I smoked 2 cigars.
Damn.
Yep.
After all that fuss last week, you
No,
smoked
you
2?
I didn't
hooked
want to.
me.
I didn't
You
want to bring
smoked
it up.
3
I
cigars
didn't want to bring
last
this
week.
You hooked me.
up. I'm glad Harry brought it up.
After all that, you smoked 3 stogies
Because
last
of
week.
you guys. I told you I have
That's
an addiction problem
crazy.
He
with
cheated
cigars,
on you, bro.
and you guys enabled it. You put one in. You said you're going. You're going.
If you saw his reaction last week, you'd think this guy hasn't touched a cigar in 40
Oh, I was here for the
years.
I
pregame
don't, because I
podcast
know I have a
discussion.
problem. As soon as I touch a cigar, it's okay. Now I'm gonna fall asleep with one in my
Doesn't
mouth.
sound like it. Sounds like you smoked 2 and then got right back to 20 fucking more holes.
Well, so I smoked one while we were after lunch, and then we went out. We said, okay, well, fuck it, let's just go play again because, I think that they only charged the guest fee for one round. So we figured, and then we carried our bags for the second, 18, which doesn't sound crazy, but it's a very hilly course.
Yeah.
And it's pretty challenging walk actually.
Yeah, I've done those. Tough.
And so we played that, and I was smoking a cigar for that round.
Yeah.
So I had a walk-in one.
What did you do with the thing where you just throw it on the ground?
No,
Pick it
dude.
back up?
The pesticides.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
That's
you
not
ever see when
good.
guys do that though, where they're teeing off and they just throw their cigar on the
Probably
ground?
fucking
Yeah.
John Daly. He
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I would lean it up against the T marker, or I would put it on my bag in a little spot.
Keep it in your mouth.
Daly would dip it in the pesticide.
Get in your
probably.
eyes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
What's that in there? You said? Oh yeah. Watch this drive.
Dude, this course actually uses drones to apply spray.
That's smart.
Isn't
Probably
that crazy?
saves money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then I finished. We went in, and I was so fucking hungry from the amount of calories that I had burned from this walk.
From the cigar.
And then we went and had another meal.
Damn.
I had more drinks, and then I got home at like 6 o'clock. So I was at the golf course
Right
from
when it started raining.
8 a.m. to 6
That's
p.m.
nuts,
Damn,
man.
that's a fucking shift.
That's
Yeah.
so long. That's so much golf.
Was that was Saturday, you said?
Yeah.
Damn.
And I got home and I was like, I have 4 shows tonight.
Oh.
So I should probably
That's what like
sleep.
fucking
4
Jordan did,
shows?
dude. Jordan
Yeah.
was doing that kind of shit. Go play 36 and he's got a game against Spain.
Yeah. That's hell.
So I managed to nap for 30 minutes and I thought, oh man, this is great. And I woke up and I thought, okay, I don't really feel great, but I'll be okay. And then I got on a city bike and biked to the stand. And when I got off the city bike at the stand, I was there at, I don't know, it must have been 9 and my spot was 9:15.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm going to throw up.
Mm.
It was as if the biking had unlocked
Probably
the
did.
nausea from the 7 beers, 2 John Dailies
Yeah.
I'd had, and the 2 cigars. That was the moment where
That's
it caught
a
up to me.
big day.
I went on stage. I had filled up one of the plastic sort of Tupperware containers with water from the water filter
Yeah.
downstairs and brought that on stage with me and didn't even think about it. And someone was like, what's that? Like, why do you have so much water? And then I just felt like I had to tell them. I was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I had 2 cigars today and I might throw up. And they were like, ah. And
People
I was
don't people don't like when you say that. I've done that before.
I wasn't kidding
and I
at
thought
all.
it was gonna kill.
I had a thin
Oh, on
sheen.
stage you said.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna puke.
I had a thin sheen of sweat on my forehead.
Yeah.
That sort of green sweat.
Oh yeah.
And I was
Yellow.
really nauseous. I didn't have that great of a set on the early, and then I kind of leveled out and
Did you
ended
get some food in you?
what did I? Yeah, I must have eaten something.
That always brings you back to life. Little grub.
But I'd eaten it at like 5:30, so I didn't really need to.
Wow.
But
Dude,
it was
that's
tough.
a tough day.
Yeah, it was too much. And then
28,000 steps, 7 beers and 2 cigars, and then 4 spots.
I think I had 3 cocktails
That's
too.
fucked.
Because I had
When
a
I
gr-
go fishing and I know I have like 4 spots at night, I'm like, this is gonna be hell.
I had my. You want to hear something
It's like
really?
working in a Cameroonian mine,
Yeah.
guys.
You
You're
wanna hear my-
putting yourselves through it.
Yeah. Something really degenerate.
Yeah.
I had my first cocktail at 8:15 in the morning.
Jesus.
A Greyhound. Do you know what that is?
No, but I've heard of it.
Vodka soda, splash of grapefruit juice.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of it.
I like it. It's like my breakfast cocktail. So I had one of those,
No
and then I
Bloody
had one
Mary?
at the turn.
The turn.
Yeah.
17.
No, the turn's like
8?
10. The
10?
ninth hole, halfway house, right? So
Well, if
between
you're
9
playing
and 10.
36, it would be 17.
Mm-mm. The turn's always going to be.
If you're playing 36, the turn would be 18.
I'm not
Oh,
even going to
dude.
take this on.
Now?
This is gonna be a whole Reddit post. They're gonna argue.
I'm not even
I
gonna
know
take
how the
this
show
on.
works now.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I had a John Daly at 14.
What's a John Daly? I'm imagining it's like a.
It's a
blonde
Arnold
iced tea.
Palmer with vodka.
Oh.
So iced tea, lemonade, vodka,
Sounds lovely.
and they
Sounds
pour
right.
them stiff.
Oh,
And
they'll pour him tall.
Yeah, it's a John
It's
Daly.
Yeah.
a John Daly.
Right.
and then we got in for lunch, and I had 3 Amstel Lights.
I don't
And
even
the
know how
t-
you
and the
could
2
enjoy
cigars,
yourself during that.
And then we went out for another 18.
Was the entire time in the back of your head were you not like, I have 4 shows tonight?
It just seemed,
That would be just in
seemed
the back
really
of my head.
far away.
Michael
When I'm
Jordan.
about to light that second cigar,
It seemed
I'm
really
prob-
far
like,
away.
4 shows is a lot of shows.
Michael Jordan, dude.
But they were
That
spots.
mentality.
Yeah, but it's still you're there for hours.
And then I headlined last night at
Oh yeah.
West Nyack.
Yeah.
And I had done 3 spots on Friday. I did, and I had spots Thursday and Wednesday.
Damn, we had much different weekends. I mean, maybe one of the more least productive weekends I've had ever. That's why I went to the gym today. I was like, I got to do something. I was like, I got to jumpstart. I went to
You
bed
gotta
at
rebound.
11 last night.
God forbid.
Well, I was like, this has to change. I was like, I can't live like this.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to go to Edmonton last weekend, and then I lost my passport and I couldn't go, and I had to cancel the shows, and then I didn't have any spots because it was too last minute and nothing was
Cancel the
booked.
whole weekend because you lost your passport.
Dude, it was
Dude,
a
that
whole
then you're
wasn't
like, I gotta
even
get
the
in the
only
gym.
weekend he canceled.
You couldn't even imagine.
It wasn't the only Canadian weekend he
And
canceled.
he's like, I gotta get some. I gotta do some lads, man. This is bad. This is getting bad. Give me those 12.5s.
I was texting my friends this morning. I just kept repeating to myself. I was like, they can't take away my health. I was like, I gotta get something under control.
No one took anything away. You
They
fucked
took
it
my
up.
passport.
I thought you said you lost it.
It was stolen.
No, it wasn't, dude. What are you talking about?
If it was
right
lost, someone would have returned it.
That's not necessarily true.
It could just still be.
If you went through everything I went through, you would think
Who gave it back to you?
Like, I think the last person to get the passports before they finally destroy them is Donald Trump. Like, I think I think the president is the only person who's legally allowed to destroy the passports. Like, I think most of his days just, dude, I had to call like 9 police stations
Okay.
and be like,
Wait,
"Do you
I
guys
thought you
have
left it on the plane.
Yeah, but they don't throw it away. They're
Dude,
like it's somewhere.
This is what this is. All right, this is so classic.
on the plane.
He's like, I didn't lose it. He left it on the plane.
Let's give Air Force One a call. See if they,
He leaves.
I'm
He
telling you,
leaves
it goes
his
higher than
passport
you
on
would
an
imagine.
airplane,
It goes
and
up.
that to him means it's stolen. The airplane stole my passport. It reached into my pocket, and then
It goes high.
there's-
It goes high up.
There's a Rogan episode that
Yeah.
comes out. It's like, yeah, Trump gave me this passport. I was like, hey, I'm supposed to put it out and see if anyone knows who this man is.
Dude, it's like you gotta call the. I had to email the border.
Dude,
They just have an email. You just gotta email the border.
Just because you.
Hey, do you guys have Harry
What's their
Settle's
email
passport?
address?
I had to find it online.
What is
Hola,
it?
ni
I have
hao,
no idea.
hello.
Is it Gmail?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
The border at
it's
Gmail?
gov or something.
Yeah.
All right. Just because I don't even know why I'm trying to do this. Just because no one turned up your passport doesn't mean it was stolen.
Yeah, I know.
Where is the passport now?
Gone.
It's just gone.
It's on an Air Canada flight somewhere.
Never
No,
recovered.
it's gone.
Oh,
Because
man.
we went through customs. At least this is the theory that I've created in my head because I've looked at my apartment like I've destroyed my apartment like 18 times in the last 2 weeks trying to find it because I keep on being like, nah, it's got to be here somewhere, and then I'll just re-look for hours.
There's nothing more frustrating than
Because
that.
you're like, I'm going through this whole process, and the entire time you're like, but what if it's just here? You're like, what if I lift up the carpet and it's under the carpet for some reason?
Sure.
Like, there's never enough places to check. But
Actually, you know what's more frustrating is losing a child. and
losing a
not having
child
closure.
is tough.
Not having closure. Because
You're like,
the kidnapper doesn't ever
Leave a clue.
they destroy the body somehow, or they keep them, in one of those like really high tech sheds for a long, long time.
Like a shed that has like facial recognition.
Yeah.
To get in.
It's like, guy's been driving a Toyota Tacoma all these years.
No one would have thought he had
No
this
one knew.
fucking Spy Kids
Yeah.
shed.
Do
And
Do you think the parents have the same thoughts though?
He had
Like,
anti-heat sensor material all over the roof of that shed he went to every single night. What was he doing back there?
Have you ever seen The Clove Hitch Killer, the movie?
No, but I've seen Room.
It's Room's pretty fucked up too.
Room is so fucked up. But
that
keep
was one
going.
that's so fucked up that it's like not even really enjoyable.
No, it just sat with me.
The Clove Hitch Killer
horribly.
is not really enjoyable either. I wouldn't even recommend it. Dog shit movie.
Huh.
But it's about the BTK killer.
What's that?
That was. You guys ever watch Mindhunter?
Killed every member of that Korean boy band?
No, that's
I know B2K.
BTS.
Is it BTS behind the scenes?
Nah, what is it? Okay, well it's K-pop.
Mm-hmm.
BT. Fuck, I forget what it is.
All
I think
right,
it's
anyway,
I feel like
BTS.
we're losing traction on this.
But anyway,
This is how it goes.
This is why I'm here.
we
Yeah.
move quick. We move quick. BTS.
Oh, it is
I was
BTS.
right.
BTS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
What was I saying about BTS?
You were
saying
telling us
that
where you hid that child in
they
your basement.
Are the
The
biggest
passport. I was
fans.
talking about the passport. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much it's gone. You can't get it back. I don't know.
No, you were talking about the Cloverfield killer.
The Clove Hitch Killer.
Yeah.
Why did that have to do with the band?
The band BTS.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Well, no, that's 'cause you
brought
made a
that
joke.
What's
into
BTK?
it.
What did BTK have to do with Clover?
I am the stenographer.
We were talking about
of
the
this
sheds.
podcast.
We were talking about the sheds with the guy. The BTK killer was a dude in like the Midwest who his thing was like bind, torture, kill. BTK.
Oh.
He was a serial killer.
Did they call him
Bind,
that, or did he
torture.
I think he called
come up
himself
with that?
Yeah, for sure. And he
It's
didn't.
BTK.
I
Thank
think
you.
he was killing people in the 90s, and then they never found him. And
was a
then
good
in
era
like
for
the
killing.
2000, or it might have been even earlier. It could have been like the 80s or the 70s, and they never found him for years. And then in like 2000, early 2000, I think it was 2006, he was he like sent them a floppy disk with
They
like a
gotta-
message on it.
They got to tell people.
And they were like, he was like, you guys can't track this, right? He sent it to the police because he was sending letters to the police station before. And he's like, this is way easier. Can I just send you guys a floppy disk? Like, can you track it? And they were like, no. And then he sent it to them and they immediately found him. He was like genuinely pissed. Like there's interviews of him being like,
no,
you
we
said,
can't track
yeah,
it.
there's interviews of him being like, you said you couldn't find it. You couldn't track me. And they were like, we lied. But yeah, there's a movie where he like goes out into the shed and he goes into like his dad's work shed and there's like IDs of all these like teenage girls and shit.
Yeah, see, that concept that happens in humanity is darker to me than serial killers by a good margin.
Well, that is a serial killer.
Well, but fine, but I'm talking about the
Oh,
people
that
who
people don't
keep
get found.
the people that keep, abduct children or teenagers and keep them imprisoned for decades.
Yeah, it's fucked.
That is, I really have a hard time with that.
You're saying take them out.
I think
It's more like
It's more humane.
it's just so fucked. Like
Yeah.
to think about that existence, and I don't know what you do. I mean, obviously, what can you do if you can't even? I hate to get really dark, but like you can't even kill yourself to end this horrible daily cycle of like abuse and all these things. I mean, you hear about these stories, and I'm like, I wish I hadn't read that,
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's just, you think about like, you ever think about it?
Getting kidnapped?
And being held for
That's why you're
20
hitting the gym,
years
so
in
it
a
doesn't
fucking
happen.
hole.
That's exactly why I'm hitting the gym. But no, I don't. Kidnapping's not a big fear of mine. Like, yeah, that would. I mean, I prefer just to not think about that. Because
What about
suck.
like a misery situation? Like somebody's a super fan, they tie you to the
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is that Hitchcock? Misery?
bed.
no,
It's,
Misery was
King,
that Netflix show, right?
Stephen King.
Oh.
Yeah, and where she breaks
yeah.
his legs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And with the hammer?
Famous scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 That movie
I think about that
rules.
too. I think
'Cause
about that
well,
one.
you're a name. You're a name. You could have a super fan out there. Your
He's
car
gonna tie
breaks
me up
down in
and
the
be like,
middle
"Send the
of
tweet."
Michigan,
Yeah,
and then they tie you up to the bed.
yeah. Ties me up so they can read my Twitter drafts.
Yeah, they're like, just write me one more tweet, Harry.
Yeah.
Just write me one more tweet.
Just every day they come in and they edge you. Ruined orgasms.
That
You
would
ever
be a
watch Ruined
funnier.
Orgasm
That would be a
compilations?
funnier story.
No.
Where they get you right to the edge and then it just dribbles out and you're like, no!
Then you're
No,
rock,
I've never seen that.
That would be so bad.
Is
That'd
that
be
a
worse
real
than being
thing?
held for decades.
you rock hard. She takes a sledgehammer. You
No!
Just once a day. Every day you're like, I think she's gonna let me bust today. No, not the sledgehammer again.
no, because she keeps fooling you.
Yeah. You get to choose bust or sledgehammer.
It's never bust.
They're like under cups.
It's never bust.
Yeah.
It never was bust. It's always sledgehammer. It's always rock. It's never paper or
I
scissors.
can't bust anymore. My dick looks like a fucking slinky.
Like Harvey Weinstein's dick.
But these tweets were hilarious. You said they were. When do I get to go
You
home?
haven't said a single funny thing since you got here. All right. That's a good way to end it.
Cool.
That's a good way to
Fine.
polish things off.
Fuck it.
Sledgehammer
Jesus
or bust.
Christ. Yeah.
Sledgehammer or bust is a good riff.
Sledge or bust.
Yeah.
That's the name of the app.
Yeah, sledge or bust.
Sledge or bust. There's going to be frat dudes playing that now. No,
It's
dude.
the idea.
Harry and
Oh,
Fred
you know
just made
what?
it up.
I did watch a show recently on Hulu I think it was on Hulu with Steve Carell. And he plays a therapist who gets kidnapped by one of his patients.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's called Patience.
Was that a
Whoa.
good... It was a show?
It was a show.
Was it good?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was fine. But it was like, it kind of drags. But it's like the whole time he's trying to convince his therapist to not kill him.
Huh.
It's
Yeah.
actually, it actually
his
is not
patient.
bad. His patient.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he has to have patience.
No, I get that. But I'm saying,
It's a
like,
play
so
on
now he
words.
has to... I understand.
Carell likes to get creative like that.
You know what? Let's end the episode here, Harry. See how much you have been working out, pal.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Hey, check out Nick Murphy on Netflix coming up soon, right?
Yeah.
You're doing the...
It'll be on the YouTube channel, yeah.
It'll be on their
for
YouTube. The young...
Introducing. is what they
Introducing.
call it.
Introducing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I'm going to be in Philly next weekend. Tickets are running low, so please go get tickets for that before they run out.
I've got Kansas City this weekend, and I've got Dallas and Chicago couple of the Chicago shows have already sold out, so get on that. Tickets at punchup.live/Francis Ellis, and we will see you soon.
Go see these guys.